Hi all, Rick here with a Bestiary on the most powerful being in Star Trek. Spot wants you to believe he was Data's pet cat, when in fact he was actually a cosmic being of unimaginable power and destructive potential. Oh wait, that is a cat. It is said that Data acquired her sometime around his posting on the Enterprise D beginning, or in 2365, as Spot's final appearance was in 2379, making it around 14 years old. In Star Trek, the longevity and healthcare of medical science is not only for humans' benefit, with most cats expected to live up to an average age range of 25 and over. However, this would not be a concern for Spot, considering the fact that they are a cosmic being of incalculable power. Other aliases the feline has assumed over the years included the Monster, the Bane of Kahless, a good cat and a pretty cat, the Ruiner of the Malgoth Nebula, the Abyssal, the Devourer of Treats and Stars, the Ruin Maker, Algeron, Sire of the Q, and Bubbles the Defiler. The clues are subtle but there. For example, the numerous myriad of powers they exhibit over the course of the series, the most prominent of which being shape-shifting. For you see, the humble orange cat that you are familiar with has actually adopted various forms and even species over the series, as well as instances of gender changing, where you might think this is nothing too overt. After all, there have been shapeshifters before in Trek and it's not uncommon. However, what is more perplexing is that Spot's ability to rewrite their appearance at a whim has the effect not only on their form, but the entirety of reality itself. Upon assuming a new identity, no one, not Data, not Geordi, not anyone in the entire universe, can remember an existence where Spot was anything other than how they appear now. This shows us that Spot's power levels go far beyond anything seen outside of the Q Continuum. Total and spontaneous reality rewrites. In fact, the only time this truth was almost unearthed, it was mistakenly attributed to a genetic devolution virus that had been permeating the ship. Upon finding Spot, they discovered that she had transformed back into a lizard instead and made the assumption that it was the result of the same outbreak that had afflicted the rest of the crew. However, the simple truth is that Spot just wanted to be a lizard for a while. Among Spot's other powers are the ability to turn themselves into a near indestructible rubber-like putty, which takes no damage from impacts, even surviving orbital re-entry. She has laser eye vision that can see into the deepest layers of subspace and perceive the hidden dangers there, as well as ascend her consciousness at will to higher planes of being. Spot can also control their atomic bonds at will, allowing their form to disseminate into fluidic states, much like a changeling, allowing them to fit whatever they sit. Spot is also warp capable. Spot also has a greater understanding of most spatial phenomena and technology than the collective United Federation of Planets, penning several warp theory papers and the first trip into the mycelial network when he was chasing a red dot. Like all cats, he has met with the personification of the universal force of gravity and negotiated his own contract and exceptions. Spot's greatest relationship is of course that with her pet, Lieutenant Commander Data. The android initially adopted Spot in order to further his understanding of humanity through nurturing aspects. But in fact, Spot assumed the feline form from their previous existence as a cosmic cloud of shrimp in order to study mankind's progress with artificial life. In order to allow the continuation of Data, Spot intervenes numerous times from the shadows to guide the Lieutenant Commander on his destined path. Spot also has conducted numerous repair functions and enhanced Data's ability to learn and grow to repay him for the food supplements. Once Spot was glimpsed running the Enterprise by his pet Data and constructed a new dream subroutine by rewriting reality so that Soong would add one in order to cover up the fact and pass it all off as a hallucination. It has been observed that Spot exhibits a general dislike of most humanoids, which is understandable, with the exception of Reginald Barclay, Deanna and Beverly Crusher. This is because these three pose the greatest threat to unearthing the cat's true powers than any other being in the universe, so Spot must keep them manipulatable. Once Spot was so startled that his meow of surprise accidentally time-shifted into the 31st century and caused a resonance within the dilithium of an unstable planet, Theta Zeta, releasing the burn. It was wrongly attributed to the Kelpian Sukal. It is said that whenever Spot purrs, a star either ends its existence or is birthed, depending on the frequency. and the Milky Way's rotation is created when Spot chases his tail in circles, and should he ever realise that his tail is actually an extension of himself, the galaxy would cease its rotation. Thanks for watching this video breaking down the abilities of Spot, which are not remarkably dissimilar from any common house cat really. So I've been Rick, April Fools, and goodbye.